Final battle arc. Spoiler alert. This video contains major spoilers. If you do not wish to know vital information on plot or character elements in the video, you may not wish to watch beyond this warning. Shortly after Jinwoo killed the 3 monarchs who came after him in Korea, and Antares learned from Yogamont that the Shadow Monarch had turned against them and annihilated most of their forces. Undaunted, Antares decided to deal with Ashbourne's vessel himself and ordered his army of dragons to prepare for battle. Several days later, Antares descended into the human world through a gigantic gate in Canada and was met by the Canadianist rank Hunter J. Mills. Realizing that Jinwoo was not present, Antares burned Jay to cinders with his breath attack and gleefully unleashed his army onto the landscape, cutting a wide path of destruction across the country and massacring millions of people, including Adam White. However, even with all the desolation that Antares left in his wake, the Shadow Monarch still failed to show up. As a result, Antares eventually grew bored and started to wonder if he would show up to fight at all. When Jinwoo finally appeared on the eastern front of the battlefield, Antares went out to confront him and ordered his army of 10 million to corner him, believing that even the Shadow Monarch couldn't handle so many enemies at once. This led Jinwoo to use Dragon's Fear to counter his attack, immobilizing every single one of his minions, including Yogamont, and then proceeded to drag Antares with him to a remote island in Japan using Shadow Exchange. The two then began to fight, and despite Jinwoo's efforts, Antares easily countered his attacks one after another. Although Jinwoo's attacks simply bounced off his skin, Antares was still impressed by his sense of strategy. As a result, he halted his attacks and offered to spare humanity from extinction as long as Jinwoo helped him defeat the rulers. However, Jinwoo refused to accept the offer and mocked him for pretending to play nice, prompting their battle to resume. As the fighting continued, Antares grew more and more annoyed with Jinwoo's refusal to submit, especially since the latter's attack still had no effect on him, and eventually lost his temper entirely, threatening to rip him to shreds and turn him into Drake food if he didn't give in. However, in his anger and his arrogance, Antares failed to notice that Jinwoo wasn't just attacking blindly and accidentally left himself wide open, enabling the latter to slice him almost completely in half using his father's dagger.